brothers on um in the manosphere at large are more or less conservative, and our interlocutors, these liberals, like Renaissance Man 2008, Trey, call the FBI, they can help you out. Their effeminate behavior is getting drowned out by the fact that black men by and large are conservative. Our grandfathers were conservative, our great grandfathers were conservative, and this effeminate behavior, this is that new nigga shit.
And also, whether you want to call yourself a conservative or not, almost everything that we identify with in this space is what you'll find in conservative ideology.
Weak, Michael. I want to know what happened to your boy, man.
My boy won.
No, but Michael, you're a Republican. What happened?
No, I'm an American. We work our way to Republican.
Right. And you're a lifelong Republican, or at least I know, at least professionally, that's for sure. But you've talked about your experiences and your parents and how much that's affected you and shaped your values. You're not like a party come lately type of person. Really, that's in your bones. But is part of you disappointed with the Republican Party? Not just Trump. He got more votes than he got in 2016. Like, how does that make you feel as a person who's kind of lived for this party for a long time?
Well, it's very disappointing. It is particularly disappointing when I see members of my party's leadership sycophantically kowtow to a sort of egomaniacal henchman who has one view of the world, and that's himself. There's no one. I don't want to be in a full-on battle with my own party,
right.
But you got to deal with stupid,
right?
And so, hey, here we are, and we're going to try to, as I said the other day, what the party's going to need when this is all said and done is a political enema, and I'm happy to deliver it.
Right.
That look, I'm gonna fight you on some of the stuff that you got hidden in the cupboard over there when you pull it out and try to do it. It's healthy. It's healthy to have a debate around healthcare and environmental policies and questions of war and peace. What is not healthy when we debate who we are as citizens, when we debate who we are as Americans.
And when you say who you are, I know you mean that from an American perspective, but from a Republican perspective, do you mean to go back to the pre-Tangerine Idi Amin days, of the Republican Party? Or do you accept the fact that this is a Trump party now? And maybe you're the ones that aren't listening and are on the outs. Do you think there is a space for you guys after this? You're going to be welcome back to the GOP cookout?
No, we ain't getting any invitation to the cookout anytime soon.
Because that other cookout is already going to be problematic getting to the other cookout.
Well, this is true. This is true. Look, this is the same crew that didn't even invite me to the convention in 2012. I just left off. They just fired me. So I know they ain't invite me to anything anytime soon.
Right. So where are you? Where does that put you?
I'm still as a Republican. They got to deal with me, baby. I ain't going nowhere until I decide to go somewhere. And that's how this works. I've been here since 1976. When did you show up? And these folks haven't walked in my shoes growing up in DC and trying to create a political, two-party system in a state like Maryland where we're outnumbered 2-1, Democrat to Republican. So, I've got the scars and the wounds. I've carried the flag, and tried very hard to bring a message that the party, at least on paper, believed in. And so there are many of us who want to try to make it real. And if we don't make it in, if the Trump faction consume the party completely, in which, infrastructure and all, okay, it's a big country and there's a lot of space. The ideas don't die, the values don't go away. The principles are still real, and when you make that case, and if you make the case in another political forum, then you do. But then, at least initially, I call myself a Motel 6 Republican. Someone's got to keep the lights on, and we're going to try our best to do that. And to the extent that the light gets extinguished, don't worry, I got a backup.
As a black man, as a Republican, like with Trump out of the way as a distraction, how do you talk to black people as a Republican, knowing that it doesn't feel like conservatives are into this racial reckoning that's going on now, that they don't understand this issue. LGBTQ, issues also seem to be dismissed as, victimizing and all these types of things. How do you, as a Black man who knows the realities of our place in America, you're not, you're not ignorant of that. You just come at it from a different point of view. How do you open up that part of the tent for people who probably want to be there with you, but can't do it for those reasons?
Well, it actually, before I go out and talk to the people outside my tent, I have to talk to the people inside my tent.
Right.
And they have to appreciate what I bring to that conversation. It was a big issue when I was chairman. I mean, I remember having many conversations after, some meetings, and they would present this stuff, and we'd like you to go out and say this and do this. And I look at them and go, you realize I'm Black, right? I mean, I can't say that. What the hell? Let me tell you what the Black man in me just heard. Okay. So, and again, a very good example is Law and Order. Now, people take the reaction of African Americans to that as, oh, you're against Law and Order. No, we're not against Law and Order. In fact, we firmly believe in Law and Order because we know we need it in our communities.
Right.
But let me tell you what I hear when you say it the way you say it, because what you're meaning by Law and Order is not what I'm feeling. So that's where you got to start with that. And then when I get outside the tent, I just got to be honest about that. I bring my experience as a Black man everywhere I go. I can't escape that, inside my community, outside my community, no matter where I am. So I've got to be true to that first. And I can't be, just because I'm a Republican and I'm in the room with a whole bunch of white folks, start acting like white folks and start sounding like white folks. Then I become inauthentic to my own. And they don't want to hear from me.
Right.
And they don't care about what I have to say, because then I'm just another Republican in a room full of Republicans.
I thought you were going to say something else there. But
I was.
Let's just call it let's just say, let's stay away from the platinum plan for now. How about that? But thank you, and
open your mind.